Hi, my name is Haley O'Connor, and I wanted to show you everything included in my digital vowel teams and diphthongs resource. When you purchase this unit on TPT and you download it, you will get this PDF. This PDF has everything you need to access the videos as well as the digital activities. The first page shares how to contact me, and then you will also get picture directions for sharing this within Google Classroom. Once you get to page 11, that's where you'll see the instructional videos. There are 6 videos. Section 1 reviews your 5 main vowels as well as W and Y, and then the other sections are divided so that students can just get a manageable chunk of instruction. These videos are great for if you are working with students remotely. You can easily send a copy to students, have them watch it, and then they will be ready to do the activities. You could also show them in whole group. Each video is about 4 to 5 minutes long, so they are super quick and easy way to introduce and review vowel teams with your students. Each vowel team is covered with 2 examples, and then students read a group of words, and then we use it in a sentence. I will show you EA so that you get a good understanding of what each video looks like. And they're all basically exactly the same, except for the vowel teams are different.
Welcome back. Let's start section 3. EA has 2 sounds. E like beans and E like bread. Can you read these words?
So I give students a few seconds to read on their own, and then we read them together. I also made a point if there are teachable moments that need to happen, then I do that just like I would
leaf,
just like I would if this was in a classroom setting. Okay, and then to go back to your PDF, you just click back. I recommend saving this somewhere on your computer so that you have easy access to it. So those are the 6 videos, and now we're going to go ahead and talk about the activities. In the PDF, you'll just click down here where it says click here, and that will take you to the activities. I went ahead and opened them all just because there is a little bit of like a 2 to 3 second lag the first time you open these, but then once they've been opened on your computer, it's super quick. I do recommend teaching students to zoom out. If they go to 100, they're missing the tools that they need, so you're going to want to make sure that they are at the 50%. So the first few activities just cover one vowel team at a time. So if you are working on AI, you might just have your students do page 2. All they're going to do is drag these little magnetic letter tiles up here to build the words. So as you can see, they have all the information they need to make these words. They have the additional letters, and they also have the vowel team. So they're not having to generate anything. This is a great introduction for students because it's all provided for them. So they're just practicing. Chair. There we go. And there is 1 page for each vowel team. And they're all the exact same. These sentence builders also focus on one vowel team at a time. So you might have them do page 2 of this activity and page 2 of this activity if you're practicing AI or AY. For this, they're just going to pull the words up to build sentences. So please go away. It's time for the relay. In art, we are using clay. May I come in? As you can see, this one, they need to be a little bit stronger readers. For this activity, there's a ton of picture support. This activity does not have that, so it's a little bit more challenging. And then this activity still just focuses on one vowel team at a time. They're going to practice reading these words and finding words that have this vowel team. So for ah, I have straw, claw, yawn, law, paw, jaws, and lawn. Each page has exactly enough counters, so it's self-correcting in that way. Now we're moving into mixed vowel teams. So once your students have more practice, they'll be ready to work with words that have several different vowel teams in them. There are 8 of these picture boards, and all they will do is drag the matching words. So I did try to make sure I used different beginning sounds. So if you have students who are still relying on, they're still really learning how to decode words and they're not super comfortable with vowel teams, they can use the beginning like books to put that right here. So you're not going to find, it's not going to be like all 5 words look super similar. They all look different just to provide extra support for new readers. Now this is basically level 2. So level 1, they have all the information they need. Level 2, they still just have 3 vowel teams, but they're having to figure out which one is correct. So beach, hay, balloon. So this one's a little bit more challenging, but they still are provided with a lot of information to solve each word. Okay? This is a sort of real words and nonsense words. There's 3 boards that they will use. So read is a real word. Shoe, zay is a nonsense word. This just helps students decode and start to be comfortable with all these different vowel teams. Okay. For this activity, students are going to use these picture cards to build a sentence that makes sense. That bears roar is loud. And the conventions also provide a little bit of support because they should know that, the capital comes at the beginning, punctuation comes at the end. So they're really just having to figure out the order of these 3 cards in the middle. After they have built the sentence, they'll go ahead and type it. And then they will type the words that have vowel teams in them. So bears, roar, and loud. If students are typing, I always went ahead and built in the text boxes for you so they're not having to do that at all. I find that for primary students, that can take a super long time. So this way they're just focusing on the content. This is a picture sort. There are 4 different boards for students to notice patterns within words and start figuring out which vowel team would be correct in their writing. So peel, peak, honey, team. And then after they've sorted all 12 words, they would use one of them in a sentence. My team had bread and honey. Like I said, there are 4 boards for students. For this activity, they're going to use this fun little website. If you've never used it, I totally suggest it. It's great and free. Just going to roll the dice. 4. Okay, and then they come back and they read column 4. So die, pie, chief, lawn, pain, paw. Now this one is going to be for pretty sophisticated readers. There's no picture support at all, and the vowel teams are all mixed. Now this one is basically level 3. So level 1, they had all the information. Level 2, they had some information. This one, they don't have much at all. So they're having to figure out on their own which vowel team to complete each word. So again, type each word. Bow, chair, tweet, and then they type the sentence. The bow is red and the chair is purple. Whatever sentence they want to use. There are quite a few of these boards. Okay. For this activity, students are going to use, if they're in class, they'll probably use their book box. If they're at home, they'll use books that they have. They could even go in the pantry, and they're going to find words that are examples of each vowel team. So I would not have students do all of these at once. That could be really overwhelming, but you could break it down, do 1 page at a time, see if you could find 5 words. There's lots of different ways that you could do it. But if I went in the pantry, I might find, let's see, I know I would find bread and cereal. So that is how they would do this activity. For this activity, they're going to pull this little check mark to show which is the correct spelling. So this is going to come, much farther in your unit when students are really strong at figuring out which vowel team they need to use. So coil, thread, brain. This is not self-correcting because I assume that students would be doing it with parents or that you would go into their Google Classroom and check it. But if you're interested in self-correcting, let me know and I can look into making boom cards to go with it. Okay, so that is all the activities. I wanted to make sure, I couldn't remember. There's so many that are included in this unit. It's a great way to teach students all about vowel teams in your classroom or remote. I hope this answered your questions. If you have extra questions, drop me a comment, send me a message, and I'm happy to answer it. I hope you have a great day.